Can I begin by asking you, what was the vision behind TerraPay?
Okay, good to meet you, Ron. Thanks for inviting us. TerraPay was, we wanted to make small value instant payments a reality, right? And that's how we started off. My background is in mobile communications, and we've seen this interoperability really helping out in the mobile space. We don't look at it right now, but things like roaming, text messaging exist because of interoperability. And that's what we wanted to do on the mobile wallet side as well.
Okay, now just help us to understand the technical and technological parts of your business, which have enabled TerraPay's expansion.
So what we started off, it's interesting because in my previous avatar, amongst other things, I sold a lot of mobile wallets, right? And when we thought about what should I do next, we were like, let's interconnect those wallets. And that's where we started. The various pieces of the puzzle are we want to connect wallets, we want to connect banks, we want to allow people to send small value payments through my payments highway. So I have a maze, and I'm building the highway to interconnect these components. So if somebody from the bank wants to send a small value payment to somebody on a mobile wallet, the bank connects to me, the wallet connects to me, and I decide based on the routing. So on a mobile wallet, there's a mobile number associated with it. I look at your number, it's +44, it's going to the UK, it's in GBP, and then it gets delivered to your mobile wallet account. So that's how we work.
Okay, Amber, tell us about your key markets and focus areas. Geographic, etc.
So we want to address the world. The way it works is today, technology doesn't limit you by geography. So when we started off, we wanted to transfer money to mobile wallets, and Africa was the easiest place to start because of the prevalence of mobile wallets, right? You didn't have to explain the concept of a wallet to any of the operators in Africa. So that was easy. I didn't have to make a specific business case for mobile wallets or remittances into wallets. So we started off there. As we grew, we connected the wallets in Africa. We connected to senders from the Middle East, from Europe, from the US. And then as we grew, we added Asia to it. So, banks and wallets in Asia is what we deliver. And as of last week, we've actually started our operations in South America as well. So the international remittances that we have flows from, North America, UK, Europe, and the Middle East into wallets and bank accounts in Africa, Asia, and now South America.
Fascinating. So you want to conquer the world, huh?
Yes, it's easy. In today's world with cloud technology, it's, I remember the old days where we had to land servers in the country. You had to go through customs and everything and make sure, the servers were supported in that country. Today, you don't need any of that. You connect and that's it. And every country in the world today has very good internet connectivity.
Right. Now, this obviously has been a massive investment. Do you have, some significant strategic investors in the business?
Yes. The advantage we had was, initially we were incubated by Comviva, which is a large mobile value-added services provider in India. We took off from there, and then we did a buyout with IFC Prime from the Netherlands and Partech from France. Along with management, we bought out the company in March 2020. So significant investments from them, and obviously the goodwill of our customers.
Of course. Now, I've heard something called the four pillar mantra that you have at TerraPay. Tell me what is that, and how does it work?
So we are in the first phase today, right? Where if you look at mobile wallets, it's similar to saying, credit cards 30, 40 years ago. Why should I have a credit card if I don't know where to spend it? So we're looking at wallets right now and small payments instruments, and you go, why do I need a wallet? No, there's nobody accepts my wallet. So we've solved that problem by sending, right? So when remittances come into your wallet, it's like a salary account. You know, the father sends to the child or his wife every month. Money comes into the wallet, and from there he learns to spend it. So we have this thing called send, spend, manage, and grow, where we look at, we are in the first phase of it, where we've managed to conquer sending into the wallet, sending into the small payment instruments, including bank accounts. Next, we get into how do we allow you to spend it, where we're looking at different ways in which you can spend the money into your wallet. The traditional thing we've seen across is, you know, I go to a shop and I transfer money to him using an SMS or a USSD string. We're trying to see how can I make this cross-border, how can I QR code enable this product, how can I, if I'm a person with a wallet from Kenya, I land up in Dubai, can I use the money from my wallet to buy goods and services in Dubai? And that's the spend aspect of it, where we will allow you to spend the money from your wallet in different parts of the world. And then manage and grow is how we will help you manage that money and grow that money. That's the next phase, which will come up soon.
Sounds to me like you're in the business of creating a global payments business or payments solution business. Is that correct?
Yes, of course. And the way we look at it is, you know, there are payment rails. There's the banking payment rail, there's the card payment rail, and there is a need for a mobile payment rail. The definition of a mobile payment rail is small value instant payments, and that's what we're trying to deliver today.
Absolutely fascinating. Do you, I mean, is there serious money and serious value in payments? Certainly, if you look at the valuations that Visa and MasterCard have achieved, the answer is yes, right?
Yes, if you look at the way money movement is happening, we're trying to democratize it and try to see if we can give the same facilities to anybody with a money instrument, right? Today, we can, cards and bank accounts, you can move around, but what about the other ones who are unbanked or who have a need to send $100, right? That should also be efficient, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating. Is the TerraPay vision, the TerraPay dream, is it your own alone, or have you had a team of people at the beginning?
Oh, we have a core team of 4 founders, and you know, initially my background is mobile telephony, right? Like I said, I've been doing mobile VAS for a long time, and when I first started this, the vision was to interconnect the mobile wallets, and I looked at it as a mobile technology problem, right? But when my other co-founders, Ram and Ani, came along, and they basically told me, Ambar, you're doing this all wrong. You're not solving a mobile problem, it's a financial technology problem, right? Look at it that way. And that's when we flipped it around and we said, okay, let's get some licenses, treat this as a financial solution. And that's when actually the business took off.
Okay. Now we're sort of still in the midst of the pandemic, and of course, no more so than in poor Italy. How has COVID-19 impacted the remittance business? From your experience?
Yeah, so you know, when the market we work with is small value instant remittances, right? Instant payments. Small value people who transfer small value payments are typically blue collar workers. Somebody sending $200 home, somebody sending 1,000 dirhams home. These in the pandemic, these were the people affected the most, right? When we closed our round in March 2020, and the next week, pretty much the world shut down, right? And we were worried because definitely our people were getting affected. Our customers were losing their jobs. Our customers were moving back home. Interestingly, we did not see, and we saw lots of reports. World Bank put out a report saying, 20% reduction in remittances this year. Interestingly, we did not see any reduction in volume. In fact, the volumes went up. And what we discovered was One is people send money home during emergency times. Two is we believe a lot of the money that was being handled as cash, that moved to digital. We noticed a digital adoption, which usually would have taken 2-3 years, was squeezed into this 3-4 month period, and our volumes actually doubled between March and June, right? And this had to do a lot other things because of the investments that came in, and we were able to do certain things which we were not able to do before. But on the back of the movement to digital, this helped us too. And if you look at the larger players like Western Union, MoneyGram, all of them, they have also been pushing digital. They have realized that the cash-to-cash business is not as efficient or may not be the future, and are pushing people like us to give them more digital corridors.
Just pursuing the payments theme for a moment, we've been hearing a lot recently from African banks in particular about the way they tend to talk about it is separating off payments, creating standalone payments companies, etc. It hasn't been sort of easy to understand what it is they're trying to do. Do you see any advantage to a bank in separating off payments other than the sort of credit card type of payment into a separate company?
I think sometimes it's a DNA issue. Banks and large companies have a certain DNA, and they want to do things in a different way, which cannot be done in the traditional payments institutes, and therefore they want to split it out. They want to take advantage of the fast-moving market today, and almost always a 100-year-old company cannot move as fast as a 3-year-old company, right? And that's what they're taking advantage of. They're spinning off into smaller units and having them run as startups so that they can address the growing competition they're facing from startups.
But actually, what goes into these payments companies? Then we can understand the credit card business. I suppose also you could imagine sort of micro payments going in there as well. Yeah, mobile payments. Is that what they're aspiring to do you think?
Yes, of course. And when I look at the comparison between banks and mobiles, banks like to handle high value, low volume transactions, right? They will do 20 transactions of $1 million each, and yeah, that is the banking model. When you look at the mobile model, it's mobile operators handle high volume, low value transactions. You're sending a text message worth 1 cent. You're making a call worth 5 cents. Mobile operators can handle that kind of volume. And today, large mobile operators handle about 1 billion CDRs per day. A bank cannot do that, right? A bank is not geared, their cost structure and everything else is not geared to handle 1 billion transactions a day. And the fintech companies fit in somewhere in the middle where we allow banks to be able to handle these small value transactions, $5, $10, $15, $100, which was traditionally not viable for them. So by partnering with banks, we allow them to do these transactions and not miss out.
Yeah. Roland and I were talking about a week ago to the head of strategy of a major Russian, let's call it digital financial player, and this particular person actually didn't see much hope in the longer term for traditional banks. At all. Do you have a view on these 100-year-old institutions? Are they going to survive, or are they going to sort of get absorbed into maybe creating the products for the fintechs and so on and so forth, which is what in fact the Russian banker suggested?
Yes, of course. A lot of them have to adopt, right? Have to adapt and figure out how to address the next. I mean, the question is, how many times have you been to a physical bank in the last 1 year, right? but we've still survived, right? And therefore, does the bank need to have the corner plot on High Street? Maybe not. And banks need to adapt to that. Banks need to adapt to the different lifestyles of the new economy people. There's a lot of changes that need to happen. For a 100-year-old company, for a 100-year-old bank, it's difficult to implement those changes. And if you can't implement those changes, some of them will disappear, some of them will change, and that's what we are looking at nowadays. You're looking at the neobanks and all of them coming and addressing that need, and there will be more changes.
Should we be thinking of TerraPay as a potentially a neobank, as a fintech?
Yes, I mean, we want to be what the high street banks have been to the big boys. We want to be for the small boys for small value payments, right? Is it a bank? Is it a switch? We're somewhere in the middle. We are licensed to operate in all these jurisdictions, so we have the approval to be a bank. Does it need us to be a bank? Not necessarily, right? But we could be a bank-like organization that is regulated enough to offer these services, and that's what we're offering.
Okay, let's talk about telcos in general. Telcos are moving into payments now in quite a big way, and obviously they have a tremendous amount of technical knowledge. That's not a problem, but many people think that what they lack is knowledge of banking. In your experience, is that a fair comment?
Yes, that's a fair comment. I mean, if you look at telcos and specifically in the developing markets, you'll notice that those telcos, the mobile telcos, are the largest infrastructure provider in that market, right? And they have a role to perform. So more people will experience music, internet, banking through their phone than through other channels, right? These telcos have spread out. It's a lifeline in some of these markets, so they have more customer reach than the others. And like I said, they're used to handling high volume transactions. Telcos typically have a walled garden approach, which is not conducive to in some markets, and they need to consider that as they move into the financial services place. Because people like us believe in interoperability. Telcos grew because of interoperability. Like I said earlier, roaming, text messaging are interoperability products. And if they can do the same for mobile wallets, I think we have a killer product there.
This interoperability makes me think of card-based payments and so on and so forth. Is it possible, and would it be correct to say that the telcos have a network that actually potentially could compete with Visa and MasterCard?
Yes, they could. I wouldn't say they compete, they complement, right? I mean, does Visa, MasterCard, is it efficient to do a $3 transaction on the Visa card network? Probably not. And we can all work together to enable payments.
Not with the current pricing, but come on, look at the cost. Costing is different, isn't it?
Yes. They could. I think we should look at a world where we complement each other. Right. There are, the Visas and the MasterCards have developed schemes over a long period of time, and we have a lot to learn from them in terms of the schemes. Mobile wallets should work in their region and have an overlay scheme that helps them operate payments across the world. Because operators are regionalized, right? You have one operator who works in Latin America. You have one operator who's strong in Asia, another guy who's strong in Africa or Europe. But people move. You need this cross-border interoperability, and something like the Visa card network overlaid on top of the mobile network makes a lot of sense.
Who are your main competitors? Is it should it be remittances we think of, and therefore Western Union? Who are your main competitors?
We partner with all of them. Western Union is a very large customer of mine. we have TransferWise, we have RIA, we have MoneyGram. All the top 10 money transfer companies are on us. We are looking at developing more regional corridors where, maybe it's a South Africa to Mozambique, it's India to Bangladesh, Vietnam to Laos. And those are the corridors we're trying to develop. On the domestic payments also, we see a lot of payment companies who we work with, where we're looking at QR code-based mobile payment systems. So we see many of them across the three categories, across geographies, many regional players that we work with. So it depends which geography you talk about. Yeah.
Amber, I wonder if there isn't something quite fundamental and serious and important going on here. We have BNPL, which seems to be giving more power to the merchants, right? And consumers along the way. We have telcos, which perhaps is giving more. Well, it's certainly taking a bit of power away from the banks. It seems to me it's almost like we're seeing the retail banking revolution, second phase, as it were. Yeah.
Yes, we are, and I think lots of things have contributed to it. Technology has contributed to it. The reach of internet, cloud services, crypto, all of it has contributed to a revolution in the payment systems. And there is space for everyone. There is, it's not like we are pushing out banks, we are pushing out mobile operators. There's space for everyone. Different rails need to coexist, and that's what we're building.
Yeah, but look, you I think hit at the nub of the challenge that banks have earlier on when you said, banks like to deal with large numbers, large values, small numbers, and so on and so forth. Will banks ever really be able to compete with the fintechs and the telcos and so forth, if they don't break themselves up and focus? One business is a wholesale business and the other business is a retail business, and they're totally different.
Exactly, and we just seen Citibank sell off 10 of their retail businesses, across Asia. So banks have to reinvent. There is space for everyone. There is, if somebody wants to deal with $1 million, he's not going to do it on his wallet, on his mobile wallet. Somebody's dealing with $5, he's not going to go to the bank for it. So there is space for everyone, and we need to coexist, and everybody will redefine their role.
So you reckon that the Citibank move, which is, by the way, not just Asia, it's in other parts of the world as well, everywhere except the US. It sort of seems strange because traditionally Citi has built up a great expertise in consumer banking. So here they are getting out of consumer banking. Is it almost like the corporate bankers strike back?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure Citi's thought through this and realized that maybe retail banking should be left to others. Let us just focus on the high value transactions, on the corporates. Let us focus on investment banking, stuff like that. So I'm sure everybody is creating space for themselves. Everybody's trying to figure out their niche, and there will be some shifts in the next couple of years where everybody will finally settle down.
Okay, well, look, let's wrap up by talking about the different parts of the world and their potential. Let's start with Africa, which I think is where to a large extent you have started. Are you bullish about the opportunities in Africa, particularly this new trade agreement? Will it make a big difference?
Of course, I think we tend to think of Africa as a country. Africa is huge. Africa has the largest, the youngest population, largest in the next couple of years, largest potential. Banking has not progressed as well. but therefore there is an opportunity for other payment instruments. And that's why a lot of us are ending up doing our business in Africa. Africa then needs connectivity across the world, and that's what we're providing them.
Okay, so that's Africa. But tell us the countries of Africa that have the most potential for you, do you think?
I think East Africa is obviously the fastest growing community around. So Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya are just, it's a pleasure to work there. Lots of entrepreneurial spirit over there. In West Africa, we have Ghana, which is doing very well. They've introduced interoperability. West and Central Africa, the Franco part of Africa, also has opportunities. Things are growing there. And then we see Southern Africa, which is centered around South Africa and, places like Angola, Mozambique, also growing. So there are bits and
but you're
pieces.
Basically everywhere in Africa. You're the only one you've left out is the Congo.
Oh, we have an office in Congo, right? So I haven't left them out, but it's actually a pleasure to work there. I've worked across the world in LATAM and Asia, and I just feel bad that people refer to Africa more as a country than a continent. But there are different opportunities. We're licensed in several of the countries in Africa, and a lot of work happening there for sure.
Okay, and just very briefly, which countries of Asia stand out? Which countries of Latin America, excite you most?
So in Asia, there's a lot of, India is strange because the banking system is so strong in India. There's no place for a mobile wallet. India tried mobile wallets for a while, and it was just this love-hate relationship there. But we see a lot of business happening in Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam. Those are a couple of our favorite markets there. LATAM, we're just launching. We're going to start with Colombia and then move into Brazil, Peru. So it's premature for me to talk about LATAM right now. But we will be launching it in the next 1 month. So it's a tough market. It's different from doing business in Africa or Asia. So we want to seed it for a while.
And nothing for Europe at the moment?
Oh yeah, Europe. See, we look at it as Europe has an advanced payment system with SEPA and everything. It's easy. So we do a lot of deliveries into Europe and money originating from Europe, but it's organized and it's homogenic, so it's easier to do work there. It's almost like a cut-paste model, whereas other countries have specific solutions.
Okay, well, Ambar, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much indeed, and we wish you continued success and hope you do conquer the world.
Thank you, Michael. It was great talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.